these people that are like headaches normally at the time, if you can win those people over,
They're the most loyalist.
you're golden.
Because they know their headaches.
Yeah.
You're asking me for 200 people. There's no way we're gonna do like $800. But I understand that.
Yeah, no chance.
I understand you have a budget, but like.
All right, you guys know that we're mainly based in California, but today we're in Vegas, baby. We are here for the Bar and Restaurant Expo, and we wanted to connect with local bartending companies in Nevada. We're here to learn and explore what the mobile bartending scene looks like in one of the busiest event markets in the world. Welcome to Behind the Mobile Bar, the podcast for mobile bartenders and aspiring entrepreneurs. I'm Ryan, aka the Boozy Broker, and when we ran our mobile bartending business, we handled over 300 events and generated over $500,000 a year, all using the Happiest Ours platform. Now, as CEO and co-founder, I'm helping other mobile bartenders do the same, scaling their operations and streamlining their businesses with our tech. As always, I'm joined by my cousin and business partner, CJ, who keeps us sharp on industry trends and event vibes. But today, we've got something special going on. We're sitting down with Fiesta Mexologia, a mobile bartending company based right here in Las Vegas. We're diving into their journey, how they got started, what the mobile bartending scene is like in Vegas, how the Strip impacts their business, and how they're navigating local liquor laws and licensing. This episode is all about expansion, opportunity, and what it really takes to succeed in a city that never sleeps. And who knows? They might just be the first Vegas-based bartending company to join the Happiest Ours platform. We don't know. But you guys know where passion meets profit and every pour tells a story. Welcome to Behind the Mobile Bar. Cool. All right, not too bad, right? That was okay. That was all right.
Man. Professional.
You know, hey, look, guys, for having a number of cocktails last night, getting either no sleep or little sleep at all last night,
The liquor still.
we figured it out. It might be out. And you know what? You know what to do when you're, in this state. You just got to keep drinking, right?
Yeah. No,
So,
you gotta keep it going.
super excited to have you guys here, and we would love to hear about this beautiful cocktail, and we're going to get right into it. How's that sound? Let's have a cheers real quick. This looks
Julio,
beautiful.
I will
Look at this.
help you out here.
Thank you, brother.
Isabel, why don't you tell us what we have?
Yeah, let's cheers real quick.
Cheers.
Boom.
Cheers.
Good times, guys. Oh, beautiful.
What do you think? Yeah.
Mm.
We're
What are we drinking here?
having a signature strawberry margarita. One of our most popular requested cocktails that we have.
Love it.
I see why. Mm-hmm.
Glad you
Great.
liked. It's made with fresh organic strawberries. So all of our mixers are handcrafted.
Very cool.
Yeah. So as you can tell, I don't know if you can taste, but like you can taste like the actual strawberry in the cocktail.
Love it.
It's more fresh. It should be more
Yeah.
like quenching.
It's a refresher for sure.
It's as
Yeah.
healthy as it gets with tequila.
Right. I love it. And what tequila you decided to use in this one?
Today we are using El Tequileño.
Oh, I love those guys. They're
My
amazing.
favorite.
Good call. And use the repo in here too.
Yeah,
Very
reposado.
cool.
Mhm.
I love that. I love
Use a
that.
little extra. flavor,
Right.
You know?
Yeah, the tahini on there too, and a little bit of chamoy. Is that what it is that's on there?
Yes.
Love it.
Tajin and chamoy paste. The paste is made by scratch as well.
Love it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So you want to give it a
Nothing
little try.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Well, this is fantastic, guys. I'm loving it. Tastes really balanced. And I can also see a spicy version of this. I'm sure you guys probably make one.
For sure.
Like, this
Yeah.
would be like some fresh jalapenos. You know, it's funny. We're talking with Ernie at Liquid Courage, and he uses like the fire bitters, right?
That's right.
Oh, yeah,
That's
yeah.
right.
Kinda
Yeah.
add the spice. Where I was like, oh, that's a good point. Versus like, if you add jalapenos or whatnot, the spice can change on the cocktail. Each
Right,
cocktail.
right.
If you do the same amount of bitters,
Yeah.
if it's spicy,
It's gonna be
kinda
balanced
more
every time.
consistency, right? So,
Right.
That's
Yeah,
very cool.
yeah.
I like it, guys. I like it.
Well, guys,
Thank you.
Julio, Isabel, tell us about yourself. How did you get started? What brought you to Vegas?
Yeah.
And then what was your origin story of your bartending?
Well, it started in 2022. So it's been about 3 years now. I got inspired at my husband, Julio's dad's birthday. I was behind the bar, just, making drinks for the family, nothing crazy. It was like just an idea. And I was like, wow, I can definitely do this for like make this a service in Vegas.
Yeah.
Because that's where we were living, but we were in California at the time
Oh.
visiting. And I was like, wow, I could definitely do this for people. Like, I already worked as a bartender on the strip. Yeah, so I was already a bartender on the strip. But I was like, I love the party, like, intimate atmosphere.
Yeah.
Just like hanging out with people, having a great time. It's more intimate than it is working on the strip.
Right.
Versus like you just see them, they're just like coming and going,
It's like a relationship building. It's more personal.
Yeah.
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 So like, working on the strip, it's like, why not bring Vegas to your own household?
Right.
So we're mobilizing the experience. So you don't really have to step out, go to the strip, catch an Uber, do all the extra stuff. Why not have the authenticity of having it in your own house?
The convenience.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And even in where we're at right now, right? We got an Airbnb for this situation, but we got a number of folks that came out here to the Restaurant and Bar Expo, and it just made sense for us to get a bigger home. So I'm assuming there's a lot of people when they come to Vegas, they may do something like this versus always staying on the strip and getting hotels. It just makes more economical sense to just get an Airbnb nearby or something like that, right? I'm assuming that's
Definitely.
100%. Back to your question. Yeah, so we came from San Diego, California, but what drove us to come to Vegas was obviously opportunity. It's a growing market.
Yeah.
Isabel was a bartender out in San Diego. She used to work at Karina's. Shout out to Karina's.
Shout
But
out
that's where the idea initially originated. So I know Vegas is a huge market for alcohol and bartending and entertainment. So took the leap of faith and
wow.
kind of rode with it.
So you guys just came here, like, was there any form of like, why Vegas, I guess?
So we were debating here in Florida.
Okay.
Interesting.
Big thing though was not being too far away from family.
Right.
So we thought Vegas was like, hop, skip away versus Florida. You're on the complete opposite side of the country.
Yeah, that's
You guys
so
don't have any
boring.
family in Florida, I'm assuming.
No.
Okay.
Neither state.
Okay.
Neither
Okay.
state, yeah.
So
no
yeah,
family here or in Florida. So,
I've made that jump myself, where you jump in with right, no family, and you're just hoping and praying everything works out. So I 100% agree when it comes to being close enough to where your support system, you can still reach out to them.
Right.
exactly.
But far enough to where they can't just pop over the house every other week and shit like that, right? So
45-minute flight.
There you go. Yeah.
I'm gonna know when you're coming.
Exactly.
Like, there's no popping
Plan
over.
this out.
Right.
we got
Very
time to
cool.
plot the scheme.
So true.
Oh,
And so
man.
how long have you guys been in Vegas?
It'll be 5 years in October.
Wow.
We moved here in 2020 during the pandemic.
Okay. Wow. That's
Crazy
interesting.
short story. So we got married on October 10th. Right after our wedding, we got married in Tulum. Right when we landed back from our flight, we literally moved here.
We packed our
As
cars.
soon as we landed.
We packed one car.
Yeah. So
With
it's
our
like all
belongings,
1, 2,
and then we
3.
just moved
okay.
here.
I gotta hear. Like
Crazy.
one of y'all parents is probably going wild. Y'all gonna do what?
My parents.
Yeah. Okay. I was
During
about to say,
COVID?
Yeah. Her parents were more like, "What do you mean you're moving to
Yeah,
Vegas?
what do
Like
you
you're
mean?
crazy.
Yeah.
Like no."
Oh.
I'm like,
And you
"Well,
guys are obviously, how long were you guys dating for at that point?
Like 3-4 years.
Okay. Family or well,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you probably like planted the seed a little bit. We're probably gonna leave at some point.
Yeah,
We're gonna make
it
this real.
was during the pandemic because California was just kind of like everything was closed down, we had nothing going on, and it just made sense, especially with it being so expensive in San Diego,
Right.
and then being so young. We were like, we're never gonna move out.
Yeah.
Like, we're never
Yeah.
gonna be able to get our own place out here.
Yeah.
just wanted to change the scenery too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah.
establish our own opportunities and doing things in your own is just a kind of different story to tell.
Yeah.
So we were really driven off that idea.
Yeah.
We
I
had
love
never
it.
come to Vegas before moving.
It's crazy. Yeah.
Oh,
we
He had just turned
Faith.
21 in
just turned
2020.
21. We
Oh
just
my
booked a flight here. Like,
Yeah.
you know what? Let's go see like what is out there.
Yeah.
Just to stay. One day we came back, signed a lease and everything, and that
The
was it.
adventure.
Yeah, it
I love
was
it.
such an adventure.
That's fantastic. And what did you plan on? I'm assuming, are you guys both doing this full time or is it a part time thing? You have a full time job? Like,
So we got like different backgrounds.
Yeah.
You can explain.
So it's part-time right now.
Okay.
Hoping to do full-time soon.
I love it.
I still work on the strip.
Okay.
I work at the Sphere.
Nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
so
That place is awesome. By the way.
yeah,
I haven't
so
been there. I
amazing.
just see it every time I
Yeah,
drive by. But
it's
like,
very breathtaking for sure.
Yeah.
that's cool. We'll come check you out.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely planning to do this full-time
Nice.
in the near future.
You prefer to get out of the sphere and just do this. You much prefer doing this.
I just like being on my own terms.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I think everyone
Independence.
does,
Yeah.
I just like being on my own terms. I like being able to set my own schedule
Right.
and pick what events I like to do and whatnot, you know?
I love that.
Yeah.
Flexibility.
Flexibility.
Yeah.
Julio, what about you? What?
So my background, she was the one that got me into bartending. My whole backstory has been all sales, so I've done like pretty much everything. I used to do cold calling for real estate, phone sales, you name it, anything sales.
Right.
So this
Real
was like,
sales.
completely different curveball. She's like,
Right.
dude, just do bartending. It's the same exact tactic.
Yeah.
So yeah, she like threw me, and I was like, all right, cool. This is not too bad. It was, so I'm just like a really big support system. She's the one that initially seeded the idea. She's very passionate. She's been trained by Forbes at Resorts World, mixology training. Like she's a legit mixologist, and I'm so proud of her about that.
Oh, look at that.
But yeah, no, background is all sales. So I'm just here to support her, and
Right.
she put me on games.
Yeah.
She taught me the ropes. I'm just a mentee, mentor.
Hey,
That's
we all
so
start
cool.
somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, to answer the question, definitely want to do this full time. As we have a kid coming on the way,
Yeah.
and we want to
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes.
But we want to
kid, I'll
spend
see
more
it.
time.
I'm like, it's a mocktail.
It's a mocktail, y'all. We promise.
Don't come for us, please.
It's a mocktail. Yeah.
But yeah, we definitely want to spend more time with the son, and just spend more time with family. So I feel like that's the outlet to really turn up a notch a little bit and
Right.
push a little bit harder to do that full time.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
definitely having a kid definitely, makes you just step up to another level and just
The fire and purpose just like
100%.
kicks in really hard.
Yeah.
And you guys, you don't have any family here, right?
None.
So it's gonna be.
We're gonna make it work, though.
You're gonna make
Right.
it work.
Everything else since we moved here, we figure it out.
Figure it
You
out.
guys are hustlers. Fucking love it.
And that's why we have a team.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Without our team, obviously, we wouldn't be able to be where we're at or continue doing what we're doing.
Right.
It's just so essential.
Yeah.
No, that's great. And let's we'll kind of bounce around, but we'll leapfrog. You guys brought up the team. So like where does your team come from? How do you get your people? Is it people that you've worked with at the Sphere that want to do bartending on the side? Like any challenges or anything that you guys go? I know we talked a little bit off the scene about it. Like tell us about the people that's a part of your bartending company.
So as of right now, our team has consisted of close friends or friend of a friend.
Got it.
We started with bartender. Well, we're not bartenders, but we've trained them to be bartenders.
Yeah.
Sometimes those are the best ways because
Yeah.
it's like you want them to do things how your company does things.
Right.
Which obviously we're going to learn a lot more about your company and stuff like that. But like, and not to say like if they have experience or whatever, that could be helpful too, obviously.
Of course.
And it's like, they can hold their own, whatever. But sometimes you'd be like, hey, we kind of do things this way.
Right.
It's part of our brand. It's kind of cool when you have a clean slate with somebody.
Exactly.
You get them into the fold, right?
Don't
So
have to
as of right
untrain.
now, they've all been trained to be bartenders,
Nice.
which actually, like you said, it helps in a way because we can teach them like correct ways of technique and like garnishing and just like mold them to be like a part of the Fiesta brand.
Right.
So that's how we've come across our team so far. Has been through friends or like recommendations or like friends of friends that are just trying to become bartenders, but they don't know where to start.
Right.
Especially here in Vegas, it's really hard to just like get a bartending job because it's so competitive.
Absolutely.
It's an obstacle
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, I could imagine. I
Yeah.
can't wait to hear more about that because you're actively working there.
Yeah.
And so it's all like how'd you get the job? And like how long have you been there? Like I'm very curious on that. But going back to the people aspect, so is there like a bartending school out here that people will go through, or you're just like kind of school of hard knocks, like you're going through this with Fiesta,
Right.
So they are bartending schools that you can go to,
Right.
but it's not going to get you a job.
Yeah, for sure.
Here-
You may learn like a few cocktails. It's kind of the same thing in
Yeah,
college.
Right.
It's nothing's guaranteed
Right.
post bartending school.
Exactly. And it's not going to get you a job. Here it's a lot of who you know on how you get jobs, honestly. It's very who you know, and it's just experience.
Right.
It's like having a good resume and like coming from different properties that are like, like the good properties.
It's like the thing with Vegas is there's a thing called a pour card. A pour card is a certification from the union, and most of the casinos on the strip for all the bars require a pour card. So there is unionized casinos and bars, and there's non-unionized. And non-unionized are usually bars that are not related to the casino. So there'll be third parties from the
I
actual casino.
see. Like a Starbucks coming in to
Exactly.
make coffee for
So
100%.
casinos can only use
You only can use
unionized.
unionized union
Okay.
report card.
Okay.
So it's not like you
Is that
can
an
just.
expensive thing?
It's an expensive thing, and it's very, very difficult to get into. Like you almost have to get sponsored into.
Yeah, you basically have to get sponsored,
You
kind
have,
of.
yeah.
Wow.
Like usually to get into a union, you typically start off as a barback first, like as an apprentice. And then the casino will kind of like sponsor you to get into the union school. And then there's fees on top of that, and it's like 6
And
months.
it's a very limited space.
Right.
Yeah.
Like you have to be so lucky to get a spot in the report card.
You obviously had to go through that process.
She got lucky.
I'm a different case.
Free.
She said, "What?"
I've been very lucky that I just happened to get into these union properties before they become union.
Oh.
So I originally started at Resort World
Right.
before they were a union property. So I got hired as like a regular schmigler bartender before they got into the union. So I was like grandfathered in.
Right.
And then same thing with Sphere. Like Sphere, I got it.
It's a new thing. That's right.
Exactly.
Right.
It's a new thing. So I just been lucky getting in before they become unionized and I get grandfathered into the property.
That's awesome. Okay. Since we're on this topic about
Yeah.
Okay. It's around it.
There's
Very
courses, there's
interesting.
classes, but
Yeah.
it like ultimately though, I think it's good information for them to go through that to understand the basics of what type of liquors, different rules,
Right.
how to combine the cocktail, techniques of shaking,
I see.
Right.
all that is
Good
very essential.
fundamentals.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, yeah.
They understand those fundamentals. We can guide them in the right direction and expedite that experience.
I see. I see. No, that's awesome, and it makes a ton of sense because obviously, I'm assuming being a bartender in Vegas, especially on the Strip, it's kind of a lucrative thing,
It's crazy.
right? Like, do you guys have any examples, like numbers or whatever, on like a good night,
A best tip night.
best tip night, or
Yeah.
like and tip culture out here,
Yeah.
like tip
Yeah.
culture. I'm assuming it's similar to California, to where it's all like people just tip like 20+%
Yeah.
Right.
on top of every
Especially if
single
it's been a
drink.
good night at
And
the
especially when the
casino.
drinks are already
Yeah.
$50+, right? So
Yeah.
it's already up there in price. So the tip is a little bit fatter as well. So like, talk about a little bit like tip culture and working on the Strip.
Well, I worked at so many different properties. I worked at like in casino. I worked the club scene.
Okay.
I did day club and nightclub. And now I'm working like, I guess concession bartending is what it's typical. The spirits
turn-
concession. Yeah.
Burn bartender.
Turn and burn.
I see.
bartending.
Okay, you're a robot back there. Just
Yeah.
We love
It's just
it.
like
Yeah.
thousands of people are coming in for this one event and you're just like on pilot mode. You know?
Interesting.
It's crazy. And then like the casino scene is a bit more like craft cocktailing, you
Right,
know?
okay.
It's a lot of craft cocktail bars, so it's like very intricate, like so many steps. So those ones, I would say
Hospitality.
more hospitality for sure. And then the day club scene is just madness.
Yeah.
It's just madness all the way around. But I mean, I guess a good
Good night.
a good shift is in the $1,000 to $1,500 range.
The most I think I've made in a day was like 14.
Oh my
You work at the Strip as
goodness.
well?
Yeah, correct. I work at MSG as well, but I
Okay.
worked at like the pools as well. So
Interesting.
yeah, it's been
It's crazy.
And then on the low end, what would you say is like, you almost feel like I'm going to guarantee to make this kind of money
Like
any night I work.
200.
200-300.
$200
Yeah.
in tips.
Mhm.
It can go all the way to 1,000 plus.
Yeah.
That is insane. And so now, like, it makes me think with those types of numbers, is it still lucrative or does it make sense to still like have your own mobile bartending company?
1,000%.
1,000%.
1,000%. And the reason I say that is like obviously money is a byproduct to our life.
Right.
Right.
Essentially though is the efforts and time you have to put in to make that money.
Right.
Right.
Versus you doing it on your own terms, your own business. It's not only just commuting like profit, but it's like you don't have to clock in at this time.
Right.
It's more so, okay, I have to create a cocktail menu. I'm gonna do it on this day. And you can orchestrate it tailored to your preference. But it's more so of yeah, like I would say that would be a bigger selling point for me.
Right.
So it's not about the money essentially.
Right.
But yeah, like with so many bookings, you can still make that.
Right.
It's just obviously
You can
building
do
your
that
team.
with one huge wedding.
Mhm.
You know,
That's a
Yeah.
good point.
Yeah.
That's a great point.
with
Wow.
one good wedding, you can make what you're making on a Saturday night out on the strip. Mhm.
And we were talking earlier, right, about obviously Vegas is known for people eloping.
Yes.
and getting married.
We love
right?
love. We love love
And-
here.
Tell me about your experience with people coming into Vegas and what you guys normally see when it comes to the wedding, the marriage, and the events for you guys.
Well, we have a lot of people coming in, getting married on the little white chapels. Typically they're hotel parties.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we do a lot of hotel weddings. They have like really nice suites and villas at like Bellagio, Wynn, MGM. Like,
So you're going in there doing
And we're-
events
correct.
too,
Yeah.
bringing your portable
we're
bar,
bringing a portable bar,
up the casino elevator and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Madness.
It is
Getting
madness.
through
All the
the
people.
casino floor.
What's going on here?
Security happily,
Exactly.
like, what are you doing here?
Security,
Right.
don't mind me.
Gotta
Yeah.
check your
Right?
bags, like,
Yeah.
you
I know
know.
everybody's looking at you like, where are they going?
We're going through the casino floor with like our bar. We have a wagon.
So
to,
that
like,
makes it like super clean.
we're just wagging
save the
through the
trips.
casino floor.
Interesting.
But it's
Yes.
it's fun though. It's a little overwhelming sometimes.
Right.
Just getting through the sea of people.
Right.
But it doesn't always have to be casinos. Like they do have venues that they
Yeah.
sometimes rent out to individuals or a really big Airbnb. Like they have a big backyard, for example, as well.
Right.
So is it the same for you guys, right? Like in California, right? Weddings are seasonal, right? So obviously, like spring, summertime, you have a lot of weddings, but this is Vegas.
Right.
So is it like all year round or is it?
Well, we would say it's more seasonal. Like
Okay,
right
still
before,
seasonal.
right before Hell on Earth comes,
Oh.
and right after Hell on Earth leaves.
3 months.
Our
3
season,
months, yeah.
our season is kind of divided. Like our wedding season, it starts March
Okay.
through May.
Spring season.
March through May. So March, April, May, and then it picks back up September, October, November.
Wow.
Fall.
Got it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Not too hot, not too cold.
Yeah.
It's like bearable for
Yeah.
parties.
Right.
And then right in between, we have like graduation season, which is really big.
Okay.
And then
UNLV stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
tons of
Yeah.
graduations. We do like May, June, and then pool parties.
Cool.
Of course.
Airbnb pool parties. It could be locals. It can be people out of town.
Right.
But we just have tons of pool parties like July, August. Aside from like birthdays and
Right.
Yeah.
And what would you say is probably your number one like type of event? Is it weddings? Is what you guys?
We're aiming to target more weddings.
Okay.
But I would say it's more so of like intimate birthdays, like pool party season.
I see you.
Okay.
Do a lot
That's
of
what's
it.
about.
That's
Yeah.
the trend
because there's
that you guys-
birthdays all year round.
Yeah. Yep. No,
Yeah.
that makes total sense. No, I love it. And so, I want to kind of tap into your like kind of like company culture, right? So tell me what makes Fiesta like unique, like versus any other mobile bartending company out there. Why should somebody book you guys?
Also, start with the origin of your name.
Yeah.
Okay.
Start with the origin of your name, and then go into what makes
While
you
I
guys
drink this
special.
cocktail.
Yes. Yes.
So
Make sure I grab the right one.
Fiesta Mexologia. I'm really inspired by my Mexican culture,
Love that.
and I love to party. I grew up partying my whole life as a Latina in a
Seriously.
Mexican family. We have parties every single weekend, so we love to fiesta.
Yes.
And Mexico is a big part of my culture, like I just said, and mixology. So I combined the two, Mexico and mixology, and I just made it one happy name.
Oh,
Mexologia.
Yeah, you guys saw I was struggling with saying it. Yeah, we had to go through that intro a couple of times. But no, I love it. It's beautiful. It does roll off the tongue, and it gives you guys a bit of a different flavor. And is there something that you guys are known for? Like if Fiesta's showing up, they're doing X. Like, is there something that you put your thumb on that's like, this is what we're known for?
Honestly, like as cliche as it sounds, like literally the cocktails, like margaritas are a hot commodity.
Yeah.
For us in particular, like every time we go to the cocktail menu, go ahead and pick your cocktails, margaritas, and usually strawberry, mango, or guava are top three picks.
Sometimes we just
All my favorite fruit.
we have a variety of different cocktails, like ranging from tequila, gin, whiskey, rum. We have like tons of mojitos, but margaritas are our signature.
Yeah.
So, if that works, then let's go with it. Sometimes we'll have like a full margarita flight for an event and we'll just have different types of flavors. So I'm like, you know what? That's just us. So it works for us.
Yeah.
I love it. And tell me about like what are the challenges you guys are facing? Like Vegas is a kind of a unique situation,
Right.
right? Like it's not like most cities, you
Right.
know? So it's all like, what's most challenging for you guys in this space?
Well, obviously, we would say our challenge is competing with the strip because it's like, well, you can just go to the strip, hop to the bar real quick, or whatnot, case scenario. But I would say more so is finding individuals because Vegas is a tourist city, and most of the time is like most of our clientele will come from tourism.
Right.
So not all the locals are going to be booking with us. I mean, they will, but most of them is finding the tourists. So it's just really targeting that demographic because they come from everywhere. So I would say that's an obstacle for sure. And yeah, just like kind of grabbing people's attention away from the strip.
Yeah.
Strip.
Getting that repeat business.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
right. Because that has to be tough, right?
100%.
With you have a lot of churn and burn, which is also great because I think that part of being an entrepreneur is finding new business,
Right.
But I think the best entrepreneurs get that repeat business, and it's like, how do you do that when people aren't from your local area?
Right. They're in and out. So many people in and out. And how do you retarget these people? How do you know that they're coming in? How do you put in front of them like, hey guys, instead of like doing this for tonight, how about we come to your Airbnb? Like there's so many things. So we talk about challenges. Like what do you guys do differently to kind of overcome those challenges, those obstacles that you're dealing with?
I would say it's just more so of being able to engage with them. Like as soon as we're able to grab conversation, we can kind of build a relationship on a personal side.
Right.
Yeah.
So they have a better understanding of who we are. Hey, this is a rundown. What are you in town for? Like, how can we help you?
It's really building client relations.
Correct.
So whenever they come back to Vegas, they know that they're gonna call us again.
Got it.
And it has happened.
Right.
We do have returners out. I mean, they might not come like every year back to back, but they'll hit us up like, "Hey, I'm gonna be in town again. Like, I'm gonna be having a small get together at my hotel. Like, can you guys come by? Are you guys free this day?"
And that's where saying like first impression comes into play as well. We have to nail it the very first time. So when they do come into town, the first thing they do is think of us.
Julio, you are speaking music to my ears, right? Like what you and Isabella just said, that what really separates you guys is your customer service. That's everything. How you treat your leads, how customers feel, right? You said it. You only get one chance, right? From the first time that they contact you to go ahead and make that impact and build that relationship.
Right.
There are people like clients now who still hit me up and personally invite them, hey, you don't have to actually do anything. I just want you to be there. But it was because from the jump, our first interaction, was just absolutely incredible. Like we have Donna Stark, right?
Yeah.
I literally feel like a part of her family.
At this point.
At this point.
That's like the objective though, because honestly, it's not just a transaction. Like no, it's bonding on a stronger connection.
Right.
We're literally delivering the spirit.
Yes.
Selling the spirit.
Isabella said something. Oh, good.
No, you're good, bro.
I was just gonna say, Isabella earlier said something special. She's like, I love weddings. Why do you love weddings, Isabella?
I love weddings because I love connecting with the bride and groom. I love celebrating their love. And I just love doing the extra touches of, like floral arrangements, the cocktail menu, just like really being engaged with their theme and their vibe and just the process. Yeah.
Sure. Big day, obviously. So it's
Sucker for love.
you gotta love love. Right? You gotta love love. No, that's fantastic. And like, when it comes to getting leads, in Vegas, like how do you guys do that? Are people just landing on your website and they're filling out the form? Are you guys reaching out to people? Like, I'm very curious because, again, like you guys said, it's a revolving door of people that's coming into Vegas. And so it's like, how do you capture these guys? Because there's some people that may think of, hey, we will hire a mobile bartender to come into this space. Some people may already be thinking that. So maybe there's like an entry point there. But there's a lot of people that's thinking like, we're just going to go to the strip.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just all like, I'm not thinking about hiring a mobile bartender. Like,
right. So
what do you guys do in those situations?
Initially, we just only run off of Instagram and our website.
Okay.
So a little fun fact. I used to be a website designer back in
Crazy.
high school, did computer science coding. So I curated the CRM forms, and that's how we attract our leads to submit the forms.
Right.
But initially, I feel like most of our marketing and advertisement comes from Instagram.
Yeah.
Instagram, I personally feel like it's a representation of your brand. So it's like a brochure, see what you're about.
Online
very,
brochure.
very,
Right,
like,
right.
very black and white.
Yeah.
So are you, Julio, are you spending money on paid advertisements, promoted, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So we are spending money on advertisements for Instagram, and I just keep up to date and calibrate SEOs on the back end for the website to make sure it's current. With
That's the
whatever's trending.
important thing. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. Right.
Love it,
It's not
love
just
it.
set it and forget it.
Yeah,
you
no,
have
no,
to
it
optimize
has,
it.
It's a very proactive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Great
Because
point.
things are always changing. Things are always changing.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
No, I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. So we're gonna take a quick break, and we're gonna get back to talking to more about Fiesta and drink some more cocktails. So
Yeah.
we'll be right back.
It's just getting good. But it's okay. I gotta talk to you guys about something anyways. If you own your own mobile bartending business, you need to hear this. Happiest Hours is a one-stop platform that's designed for you to grow your business and make real-life connections effortless. You can manage clients without all the back and forth. You get automated texts and emails for both you and your clients. Keep your cocktail packages and pricing organized, schedule staff and track availability so you're never double booked, and it's all in one place. And let's be honest, you've probably spent more at the bar than you would for paying for this service. But the real flex is you're not only joining a platform, you're joining a community of mobile bartenders, and it's time to level up together. Click the link in the description to book a demo today. Let's get back to the video.
Okay, awesome, guys. Hey, we appreciate. I have too many things to think about because, like, Vegas, bartending, different city, super curious all the time. Now, the one thing that I'm very interested about is, like, any rules or regulations, alcohol laws, anything that, that you guys know about. You work on the Strip, you have your mobile bartending business, like what you can and can't do, any weird things that you guys came across? Like, I'm just curious on you guys' take on this.
I feel like it's, essential just obviously having a business establishment, like an LLC, for example.
Yeah.
Business insurance is crucial.
Yeah.
You obviously want to cover your end, and especially if you're working at a venue or a casino. Because if
Right.
anything goes
You have
wrong,
to have
Yeah.
it. They're asking
Yeah.
for the COI, the student.
100%.
Yeah.
They're asking for that stuff.
And for operations wise, you do need an alcohol awareness card. You need a TAM card.
A TAM card.
Yeah, the TAM
Yeah,
card.
TAM card.
And then a health card.
Health card.
Usually when we're working in venues, like
They're gonna ask
they're
for
gonna
it.
ask for those.
Is that a process? Getting the health card? Like, is that difficult?
No, you can just you have to go through a course
Yeah,
online and then
go
just
to
pay
the
your fees,
course.
go take the test, pass it, and you get the card. It's
Okay.
pretty
The
simple.
one
How long is it valid?
It's
like
valid for 3 years.
3 years.
Oh, okay, cool.
The one thing that is kind of like, is the sheriff's card here in Vegas.
Oh.
Non-gaming sheriff card.
Yeah.
Oh.
So you have to get sponsored by a strip, like a property on the strip, to get your sheriff card. You have to go to the sheriff's department. They do like background, fingerprints, stuff like that.
Whole screening.
Yeah.
Wow.
To work on any property on the strip.
On the Strip.
Yeah.
Mm.
But we did come across a hall that required us to show our sheriff's card. We recently did a wedding. We got hired 3 days before their wedding.
Yes. Story short, bartender they
Goodness.
hired.
Our favorites.
Failed. He just completely abandoned.
Whoever it was, they didn't have the proper cards,
Right.
and they needed that sheriff card
Right.
to work at that hall venue. And like I said, like not anyone can just go and grab it. Like
Right.
you have to be sponsored through a strip
You still have to make
property.
an appointment.
Yeah.
It can be a month and a half in advance.
So they didn't have it, and the girl was like, "Oh my god, like my wedding's in 3 days."
We did an event for her.
Her best
cousin-
friend.
Her best friend.
Her best friend.
Her best friend.
A year
It was
ago.
a year ago.
Oh,
Yeah.
Go check out Fiesta. See if you can.
You guys handled it.
Yeah.
Sometimes those last minute ones can be some of the best ones.
Yeah.
Because it's like
You'll build fans forever.
100%.
Yeah.
We get through.
On some like not all heroes wear capes type of shit. You guys came through and delivered a service in a short period of time, and you had all the things prepared already for the event.
No. Scramble.
Yeah. The wedding was on a Sunday, and she DM'd me on Wednesday. And she was like, "Hey, my bartenders, they fell through. My wedding's on Sunday. The hall requires like these cards. So I got in contact with the hall owner and I was like, hey, like I just wanted to know
That's
what
another
we
thing that
needed
can
to.
kind of be a gray area. Is like going back and forth with the event planner or the hall with
And the
actual
client.
client.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Because they can be a little difficult sometimes,
Right.
and
100%.
make your job 100 times more harder.
Communication.
But, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
And turns out like everything kind of flowed out really smooth, and we actually built a relationship with the venue person, and she was giving us. I'm not gonna lie, like no offense, it was a little bit of a headache, but yeah, we established a great relationship with her, and she's planning on hiring us for her Thanksgiving or Christmas party at the end of the year.
Yeah.
So she just
I love this.
That's
you
the
know?
benefits of like dotting your I's and crossing your T's.
Right.
You guys did the leg work early to make sure that you guys had all your ducks in a row. And sometimes just being prepared, even though, right, it's going to cost you some extra money. It's going to cost you
Oh,
some
yeah.
time. You're going to want to take shortcuts, but just from being prepared, not only did you get one event, you got a follow-up event from the venue, which is going to have even more events.
Exactly.
And you're giving people peace of mind knowing, oh, I can trust Fiesta
Right.
to come in and to really any venue and be prepared.
Yeah.
That's the biggest piece there. I was going to say is like to piggyback off of that. It's like these people that are like headaches normally at the time, if you can win those people over,
they're the most loyalist.
Oh,
you're golden
because they
at
know
that
their
point-
headaches.
Yeah, yeah, they know their headaches. You're right, and they're like, "Oh wow, they actually dealt with my shit."
Right.
Like that's what they go through. They're like, "Damn, these guys dealt with it way better than the last guys did." You know what I mean? And so the fact that you guys keep things cool, calm, and collective, and like, "Hey, we got you," and you just instill confidence in people. Of just like, "Hey, we're gonna have a good event.
Yeah.
Whatever's gonna happen, we're gonna have a good time."
Right.
You know what I mean? So like, I know we got a lot of stuff going on. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
And we're gonna have a good time. Yeah, just be cool.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. That's so great, man. It's like, you know, and now I'm thinking about like pricing. So it's like, I'm assuming when you guys first started, you were at a certain price,
Yeah.
right? And then now you're at a different price. You
Right.
guys got a brand. You guys got things going on. And it's especially if you're saying on a good day, I can make $1,400 in tips. Like, how do you balance that out of like, okay, I'm not going to work here in order to do this event when I could potentially lose out on tips over here doing this? So like, talk me of the journey of pricing with you guys from like how you started. You don't have to give actual numbers if you don't want to, but like how you started, the mindset of pricing, and then like what does it look like now? Like, are you guys charging like buku bucks for these things, or like very curious?
Longevity.
Yeah.
Initially. So you just mentioned 1,400 versus this date. Well, I would choose the business because longevity wise, I'm establishing a brand.
Right.
And that is more important. So even if I'm missing out on half of what I make here, I don't care because this content and this relationship is more important to me than just a byproduct that comes and goes.
Yep.
And if we want to get into this full time,
Right.
we need to establish those relationships.
Exactly. Put the business first.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
And then as far as like pricing, as through time, you know, we've had our trial and error to see what works, what doesn't work, what we overspend, what we underspend on, and kind of calibrate accordingly to that. But also on the expertise and really dialing down on how much time we're putting into it.
Yeah.
Because most people are like, yeah, we found somebody cheaper, but okay, I understand that, but you're asking me for 200 people. There's no way we're gonna do like $800 for that. I understand that.
Yeah. No chance.
I understand you have a budget, but like, dude, there's a lot of stuff put into it. Like, we grab all the garnishes from scratch, we're cutting them, we're making mixers from scratch, having to do cocktail menus, consulting, all that plays into time. Not only that, but actually servicing the event, preparation, loading on the bar, unloading the bar, etc., etc. So it's just more so, it's like as time goes by, like we just really see that we're delivering a more higher elevated experience.
Right.
And the more we elevate the experience, we feel like, you know, it's more, you're going to get what you pay for.
Right. You're gonna get your pay for it. And it's like that's wild. $800 for like 200 people.
Yeah.
Like, okay, my response, if I'm living here, I'm like, okay, go to the strip
Oh yeah.
and tell me where there's a $4 cocktail for all
Exactly.
200 people.
Nowhere.
And in that $4 cocktail, you're only getting one cocktail for all 200
person.
people.
Yeah.
So like, let's put it in perspective here.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
You know,
You
look
go
at
on the
it.
strip, and one signature craft cocktail will range anywhere between $25 to $30.
That's it.
Just one.
That's it. right.
I
Yeah,
know.
Easy.
people don't realize, you
Yeah,
know.
they don't.
Nightclubs, go get a 1942 shot.
Oh,
$75.
man.
Just a single shot.
Oh,
I know because I worked there
Yeah.
and I know the prices. I know how much one bottle of 1942 will cost you at the club. You know, that's your whole liquor lineup for your party.
That's your
I
mortgage.
can come and do a personalized experience for you.
Yeah.
For that one bottle that you're
Right.
gonna buy over here. It's crazy. And so
But that is also a point to elaborate to them, like, hey, here's a rundown.
yeah.
Right.
And that's a good. That's not just a selling point, but a way to like kind of open up their way of thinking.
Yeah,
like,
level
hey,
set things.
compare these two. Like, this is why we're charging what we're charging. It's not because we're just charging it out of a number. Like, no, this is why. It's X, Y, and Z. That's our reason for it.
Proving your value.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's proving the value.
No, I love it. And let me let me pick your brain on this. So, you guys work on the strip. Do you guys get events like working on the strip? Like, are there people like, oh, I'm trying to have this private party, and like could you do an event at the Sphere in someone's room, or like does any of that happen? I'm assuming no,
Yeah.
because it's
No,
so much
yeah.
churn,
Yeah.
and people are coming in and going. It's like, again, revolving door of like,
Exactly.
you don't know, they just want to drink and they're off, right? So
It's honestly like
Pretty
the
rare.
conversation times that you have with guests are very short.
right.
That's why I personally like Fiesta, because I have 4, 5, 6 hours with these people,
Right.
and I'm like talking to them, building connections, building like relationships.
Right.
Versus the strip, you have them in front of you for 5 to 10 minutes max.
It's like quick rapport. Like, oh, nice. And
How
if
long
they
are
do
you in
come
town
back, you
for?
just
Oh
keep
my God,
touching
that's
base with
awesome.
their
Yeah,
scenario.
right.
Right. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say it would kind of. I mean, it would be nice, but it wouldn't make sense because of preparation wise.
Right.
For ideally, most people come here for like 3-4 days. 3-4 days.
It takes 3 or 4 days to prep for a big event.
Right,
Or to prep for any event. Just like doing the grocery store run, like grabbing all the stuff that we need, prepping the mixers, making the garnishes, like, all that stuff takes time. So it would not fit in the timeline.
But if they are returning, obviously we can just give them a business card. Of
course.
Instagram.
Of course.
That is something to kind of reference off of.
Right.
But it would be pretty cool if we could get business off.
Oh,
I know. Just
Right.
piggyback off of that.
Exactly.
And another thing too, like how competitive is the space? Like the mobile bartending space specifically in Nevada, like we're huge and like firm believers of like community over competition.
1000%.
Because like there's, it's an abundant world. There's enough to go around to where there
Right.
can be multiple bartending companies doing things. But like I'm curious on you guys' thoughts of like, other bartending companies out here. Like how is it saturated? Is it a lot going on?
I would say it's steadily growing. I know
It's a growing market.
Yeah, when we first started, it wasn't as saturated, but now it's like it's doubling numbers on a year by year basis.
Interesting.
So like all bartenders, like they're just kind of trying to start their own thing because they'll bartend and they'll also go do a side gig.
Right.
Most bartenders here don't just like kind of work one job. Most of them will work at the nightclub and
They're hustling.
have a gig over here and have a gig over there.
Right.
Most bartenders here in Vegas work at least 3 to 5 jobs.
Interesting.
And it's huge. It's like it's
Right.
they're just creating their own schedule.
Right.
Right.
That's great.
Like I want to work at IU here this night, or I want to work at Resorts World this night, and I want to work at Sphere this night. So they just kind of curate where they want to work at for the week.
Right.
So
Right.
a lot of them are like, wait, I can do this myself. Like, kind of like us.
Exactly. You're halfway already doing it
Exactly.
already. Yeah. So
But as a competitive space, I don't think it's competition. Like the way I see this is everybody's their own identity.
Right.
Everybody has their own brand. Like for example, like we're Fiesta Mexologia. You might have Hidden Gem. Shout out to Hidden Gem. Robert worked with him a few times.
Nice.
They just have their own different presentation. They have their
Different
own
style.
different styles.
Right.
And that's what differentiates everybody.
Right.
Like you said, there's abundance to go around for everybody. So I don't want to say it's a competition thing.
Right.
It's just more so of like, hey, there's more ways for us to all kind of work together.
Exactly.
Is the guest
You know,
going for?
exactly.
Right,
What vibe?
right,
It goes down to that. Like they're like, oh, you know what? We're going for a speakeasy 1920s look, which is like what Hidden Gen
Vintage.
provides. So it's like, what is the client's vibe?
Thinking tiki vibes, like it's the same thing like the strip. You
Right.
might have tiki vibes. You might have Encore XS.
Right.
You just have options.
Might be a Luxor night. Maybe you got the kids at Circus Circus.
Maybe some mocktails for the kid. Might be having a Teletubby party or something.
right.
You just never know. But yeah, like I wouldn't say it's competition. It's a community, and everybody differentiates in their own.
It's a
brand.
growing community.
I love that. And I know we're gonna wrap up pretty soon here because this went way too short. By the way, like,
I know. We need a
could be
round
here
two,
for
a part two.
hours. And we need another cocktail.
Definitely
But
should do
like,
part two.
yeah, I do want to hear more about your service itself, right? So like soup to nuts, like what do you provide? What do your packages look like? Is it more of like, hey, we're gonna provide everything for you? I know we talked like offline about like, hey, you provide everything but the alcohol. So talk a little bit about that, and then we're gonna also talk about like how do people get the alcohol? How are they like? Are you recommending brands? Are you how are you going about that whole thing when you have the conversation with clients?
So
We have our packages are based off guest count.
Okay,
So we go based off guests.
right.
So it's like from intimate to moderate to like, oh, you got a big party going on, you know? So yeah, we go based off in guest count, and then we're basically providing mixers, garnishes, ice, everything that you would need. The service, the equipment, everything that you would need.
Portable bar.
Exactly, minus the liquor.
Right.
And then and the experience. Yes. But for liquor, we usually give them like, a broken down liquor list, like of all the things that they're going to need, the quantity. And then I leave it to them on the type of liquor. Okay. Because everyone has preference. Right. Everyone has preference. If they ask me like, hey, I don't know a lick of anything, what do you recommend? Right. Then I'll start like, I'm like, okay, well, I'll give them like 3 different recommendations on 3 different pricing, like like a affordable, a moderate, and then like, okay, like you guys are trying to like really show out.
Right. Trying to show up. And do you guys recommend a certain store for them to go to or anything of that nature, or is it just like wherever closest thing that you're buying?
So like for out of towners, we found it kind of convenient for them to just order things online at like Total Wine, for example. So we had a recent wedding. We're like, we don't know where to get the liquor at. Like, we wouldn't have time. It's like, okay, that's fine. Here, put an order here. Just choose your selection. It's completely customizable. We'll pick it up and bring it there.
Oh, that's nice. Full service.
Cool. Exactly.
Another thing, a part of like going the extra mile.
Exactly.
Right.
Those little things make a big difference. Right. Especially in Vegas when they're coming from out of town. They don't have transportation. They're just
so much going on.
It's a lot going on. So I'm like, okay, you put in the liquor order, pick your preference, whatever. I'll pick it up and I'll bring it with us.
I love it. And we definitely wanted to shout out. So I don't know if it's you guys that recommended us to go there, but I know Ernie at Liquid Courage connected with somebody. We all went to Liquor Lineup. Over here in Vegas, and shout out to Rafa and the folks out there.
Great shops out there.
Beautiful store. So
great design and great tequila.
Another cool shop. If people need some good unique stuff. Amazing whiskey.
Rafa's got it.
Rafa got it. Yeah.
Liquor Lineup.
That's it. Well, look, guys, like this is fantastic. I just want to thank you guys so much. This was super last minute. You came all the way over here. I don't know where we're at in retrospect to where you guys live, but like it seemed like it was pretty far. You brought your portable bar. You made us a beautiful cocktail, and we can only hope for more success for you guys. We're hoping that we can do something together. That'd be really cool about what we're building over here at Happiest Hours, which we'll chat about offline.
We're huge fans of your business, but even bigger fans of you guys as people.
Really appreciate
you. You guys are fantastic. Anything you guys want to kind of like say on the podcast, shout you guys out, where can people find you?
Handles.
Yeah, definitely. Instagram, Fiesta Mexologia. Our website, fiestamexologia.com.
Nice.
That's basically where you can find us, to be honest. Yeah. That's like our biggest platform is Instagram. Yeah.
You guys do a phenomenal job on the gram as well.
Thank you.
We're big about like, yes, show your cocktails, but like who's behind the bar? The person that's behind the brand that's going to come to my private space and make cocktails for me. You know what I mean? So they want to know the people. So you guys do a phenomenal job of that. So
really appreciate you.
Thank you, guys.
Absolutely. Well, guys, this is a phenomenal episode of Behind the Mobile Bar. I know that it was kind of short-lived, but we will be back messing with Fiesta. Maybe we just might book them for an event. I don't know. We got to do something fun. But this has been fantastic. You guys like, subscribe. Any Vegas bartenders out there, anybody out there, come check us out. They seem very open and cool of talking to people, and they have the right mindset when it comes to kind of starting and running their business. So come check us out, like, subscribe, and we'll catch y'all later. All right, peace.
See you guys.
Later.